Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here, Totem Pole Sports. I got Coach Taylor. You got the bald Coach K, and we're going to talk about this amazing weekend. First thing I got to talk about is Tatum, and not the most important Tatum, Mr. Eden Tatum, but we're going to talk about Jason Tatum. The guy threw up 55 last night, and all you heard was the crowd yelling MVP, MVP. And then, man, what about that dunk contest? VA's finest. Mac McClung, slam dunk contest winner. And then you got the big news with Kevin Love going to the Heat. And I'll tell you this, I'm going to make my statement right now. Zach Edey is my number one pick. 7'4", 295 pounds. To me, the guy is a slam dunk. He's got some ties to Florida. He was at IMG for a little bit. But at that size, man, he kind of reminds me of a mix between a Yao Ming and a Tim Duncan, man. The guy's got fundamentals. And then, I mean, what a weekend, you know. Ricky Steinhaus winning the Daytona 500. That was a big deal yesterday. And, I mean, it was his to lose, man. He just outran everybody all day. Some other big news, man. We got the New York Giants quarterback switching agents. So we'll see what happens with that. That's big news for Danny Dimes. Apparently, he wants more dimes and more dollar signs. And also, we heard about Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan maybe getting a crack at the Broncos defensive coordinator. So they are loading that up. And then we had the XFL. And the XFL knows we had the Arlington Renegades won, the Houston Roughnecks. Man, what a team name that is. But then you had the DC Destroyers. They won. The St. Louis Battlehawks won as well. And the big news was Josh Gordon. How many strikes does a guy get? You only get one chance, Josh Gordon. You did pretty well. You got 6 catches, 74 yards, and you hit pay dirt one time for your Seattle Sea Dragons. And that's what we had here. That was pretty much the news for the weekend, Coach Taylor. What do you have to say about all that?
I mean, Matt McClung, Gate City, Virginia, team loaded, played for Ty White, the high school coach of John Marshall High School, one of the best programs in the country in Richmond, Virginia. But
VA, baby.
Put on a show. I mean, when you have Shaquille O'Neal saying that you saved the dunk contest and LeBron James says that you are one of the best dunking competitors of all time. And you know what it made me think of? Is why can Matt McClung not be the Joey Chestnut of basketball? Why can't Matt McClung make his appearance once a year, have somebody else? You know, there's that other guy that's not an NBA player, but he's one of the nastiest dunkers in the world. And just get the best dunkers out there. Be like the hot dog contest on July 4th.
I like it.
Dude, who cares if they play in the NBA? Get the best dunkers in the world and tell them we got $100,000, and I bet you'll see a good show. So the guy that's the NBA commissioner that looks like an evil villain off of James Bond, Adam Silver, you need to make a change. Get the best dunkers in the world and all for $100,000 like you gave Matt McClung and see what happens. Make it fun for the fans.
Amen, Coach. Amen. It's all about the fans All-Star Weekend. Give us what we want. Give us what we want. Without a doubt. But, yeah, the Giannis team won, I believe, 184 to 175 over Team LeBron. So, yeah. Not a lot of defense in those games. There's usually not, Coach. You know, usually not. But, hey, let's get into what all we had here this weekend. I mean, what an amazing, amazing weekend we had here at Totem Pole Nation. Me and you started it early in the day. And then we had the Warrior Kid on, my granddaughter, Sophia. And our interview got cut off. She was just about to thank, you know, her dad. Her dad is such a huge influence. You know, he's in the Coast Guard, and he lives in Alabama. So she don't get to see him as much as she wants. but he always spends so much time with her, and they focus on reading and working out and, you know, just getting better every single day in every aspect. So I know she was wanting to thank him, and she was wanting to thank her Nana, and she wanted to shout out her little sister Aria and her mom Kathy. So yeah, man,
Well, we'll get her back on.
We'll definitely get her back on. And look at this thing right here. She wrote a blueprint of what of her podcast and what she wants to do on her podcast.
We're going to do it.
She's loaded with talent. So glad to have her here with Totem Pole Nation.
She's got a future. She's got a future in social media. She could be an influencer.
Yeah, she is. You know, she is. She's one that she's on the path. And, you know, she comes, you know, with her background, you know, her parents are split up, and a lot of kids have to deal with that. And the way she does it, man, you know, she basically all year during school, she stays with her mom. And then summertime, she's all the time with her father and stepmom and her brothers and sisters over there. So, you know, she just makes the best out of each situation. And, you know, it's just pretty awesome, man. She's a great kid, and she loves to read. She already knocked out the field manual, Warrior Kid 4 field manual, and now she's on to book number 5. So she's dialed in, man. She's dialed in.
Yeah, man. You know, what did we have after we had Sophia?
Let's see here.
Are you looking at a laptop?
No, I'm not. I don't have a laptop.
Oh, I thought you were like looking at it.
No. Check this out, man. Look at that. You see that?
Yeah, man. There it is.
There she is, man.
That's a beautiful sight, man.
Yeah. Every time you can see that, ladies and gentlemen, you're having a good day. There's a lot of people that went to sleep last night that aren't getting to see that. You know what I mean? You got to focus on the good things that you got and the positive that you can bring.
Yeah.
You know?
So we had this is all after Friday, right? When we did the life lesson. We had Doug Mars, we had Chip Lindsay, we had Gene Chiswick, we had Alex Mars, the son of Doug Mars. All those guys are at UNC. We had Coach Roberson. We had Claude Hadaway, offensive coordinator. We had Bill Mountjoy on, I think, 2 or 3 times. We had Mike Diamadio, the retired high school coach, Confessions of a High School Coach.
That was a great interview, Coach.
You like that?
Oh, I loved it, man. I loved it. I mean, you know, it's so little about X and O's. You know what I mean? It's about relationship, you know, making a culture and just loving on your players and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And everything he had to say about it was, you know, phenomenal. And the fact that he said he basically lost everything, but, you know, that his woman was still in his corner, man. That's such a crucial thing. You know, stand by your man, like you said, Patsy Cline song. You know, if it wasn't for her, who knows where the guy would be? You know what I mean? She probably saved his life, just like my wife saved mine. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm not kidding. We had Joe Ozavet, who I want to get back on because he is a ball of energy, dude. He was the head coach at Nassau. He was at Rocky Top. All right, then we had Coach Fisher with the Texas high school football chat.
That was awesome. He brought all of Texas with him. You know, you can't talk about high school football legitimately and not have some Texas talk in there, man. It's just a whole nother culture there. You know, they still shut down the towns, man. It's super important there, you know, and it's pretty awesome.
You had the book.
Yeah.
You had the Friday Night Lights book.
You're exactly right, man.
I remember that.
That was my football Bible growing up, man. I love that book.
How did you get that book?
Mom, I was just like, Mom, please, let me do some chores. Let me get that book, and she made it happen. Yep. And then that movie came out, but the book is it's so much more detailed, man. It gives all the guys sizes and everything. And man, it was just, it was amazing. It was the same times that we were going through high school. So it meant, so much, just like the program, man, that movie, the program was when we were, going through high school.
That was cool, man.
Yeah. Yep. Couldn't have happened at a better time for us,
I'm trying to get all, I'm trying to fix Chris Fisher. His thumbnail, I wanted to put his first name in there. Last night, this is what friends are for. You know, I didn't even realize how excited I was until I talked to my friend Shane, and Shane was like, "Man, you talked a lot." He basically told me I talked too much because I told the big rant about Jim McNally to coach Bobby Bentley, you know, the legend at Burns High School.
Right.
He is Mr. Football, South Carolina.
His
But
son
man,
Brooks.
we weren't even supposed to talk about X's and O's. We were just going to talk about his journey, and it only took like 1 minute to get into his offense, and that was one of my favorite that I've done. That was one of my favorites. That guy, he's the GOAT of South Carolina football. So
without a doubt.
So today, what all do we have? We didn't talk about who we met over the weekend. Coach Bill McNally. Coach McNally. Coach yeah. The best.
Man.
He's the best.
I'll tell you what, you know, I got evicted from MySpace. You know, it was me and Tom as kind of the last man standing, and I got, you know, pushed off the island. And so I did. I finally joined the Facebook, and I don't know what I'm doing. So I can totally relate with Coach McNally.
Jim McNally. I said Bill. That's how smart I am. I call him Bill McNally. He would probably
Mouse.
Whenever I get on the phone with him or FaceTime, dude, it is nonstop laughing. I mean, it is just funny. We need. I told him. I said, dude, we
record every time.
we should be recording our calls of me trying to teach him Twitter because he got hacked. He said, I got a message about Instagram and he pushed it and he got hacked. He sent everybody, all of his followers. He went from having 2 followers to over 500 in one day.
What, this week?
This week.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it, man. Yeah.
He went from 2 to 500 in a day. And he FaceTimed me last night at 10 o'clock, and he was concerned that he got a message.
You seeing this guy? You seeing this guy in the background, man? This thing's sizing me up right here, man. I'll have to let the dog out here in a minute. See that thing?
Who is it?
Bird, man.
What kind of bird is it?
I think a blue heron.
He might be lunch if he's there much longer.
Man, if he drops a deuce in my pool, he might be lunch.
Yeah.
But man, that was so awesome. I mean, you coaching a guy that coached Anthony Munoz pretty much his whole career, and then so many other Hall of Fame, All-Pro guys that he was involved with, and you're over here coaching him up on Twitter. That might be your biggest masterpiece right there. You know, definitely. The state championship might have just bumped down, Coach.
I mean, when you have to teach a guy who he has no clue, I mean, he didn't his cell phone. I mean, he's very paranoid. He's an NFL football coach. He doesn't want anybody to have access to his videos or pictures or information he has. Okay, so to be able to have Twitter to look at one photo at a time. There's the sun. And we got it set up, and he continued to think he was getting hacked because people were sending him messages saying, you got hacked. So he's wondering, do I need to reset my password again? And once he resets his password on his iPad, does he need to reset his password on his iPhone? Because he's got an iPhone 14, but he's got an iPad 8. So it's just great. I mean,
it's confusing, man. It's confusing when you've done 50 years of coaching football.
He said he doesn't understand. He doesn't have a laptop. He doesn't have files. He said he doesn't understand files. He understands a file cabinet, but he doesn't understand files. But he is coming on today at 3. Yeah, Tony Franklin is at 6 with Billy Mills. So I would say we're probably going to go for 3 hours.
Loaded, man. What a loaded
football chat. Chris Fisher is coming on with his 23,000 followers. He's an O-line coach in Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, I've got college coaches that are telling me they are going to be watching. They want to hear Coach McNally.
Why would you not? Why would you not? You know, you surround yourself with the best people and the best knowledge, and good things are going to happen. You know,
Yeah,
you show me, show me your routines, and that's pretty much the DNA for your success. You
no
know,
doubt, man.
wow,
So
man.
I'm trying to see here. Does anybody else have Coach McNally on a podcast? Because I don't think it's possible to actually get him to hook up, technology of any sorts where he could actually do a podcast unless it was in person. He might be able to do it on a phone.
Right.
All right. I'm looking. There's one 6 years ago.
Okay.
There's one.
Okay.
There's some drill tapes from 4 years ago. There's an outside zone 5 years ago. Here's Jim McNally offensive line playlist. This is the duo play 5 years
Oh
ago.
yeah.
I mean, I think we're in good company, dude. 2002, 2 years ago, he's got his drill tape, but there is nothing from 2023. There's nothing probably from the 2020s.
Wow, and there's nothing going to be legitimized like it is here at Totem Pole Sports, and I guarantee he's gonna roll as long as he has to, and it's probably going to have to be continued. How can you have a guy that's such a legend for so long just get on and talk for an hour? You know what I mean?
He's
That's
definitely going to
just
go long.
that's just scraping the surface. You know what I mean?
I asked him last night. I said, "Who are the best two coaches you've ever been around?" And he thought. He said, "Bill Walsh, Tom Landry." Wow. I said, "Why?" He said, "They're smart." and I said, "What's so great about Tom Landry?" He said, "He's all business." And I said, "Was Bill Walsh all business?" He goes, "No, he could have some fun." So that was, and then that was like, "How do I get rid of you?" He wanted to get rid of the FaceTime. And I said,
Okay.
How do I get rid of you? And I said, "Just hit the red X, go."
Oh man, that's great. That is great, man.
So what have you got planned today?
Yeah, today is our Monday, man. We usually go over to we usually go over to Willie's. It's Willie's Burgers and Brew over in St. Pete Beach. It's just one of our favorite places to go. They all know us there. We take the dog. We're gonna take the Firebird out, the '68 Firebird. I gotta drop some pictures on my new Facebook and all that stuff.
Man?
We usually do that about 11 o'clock. Yeah, we usually do that about 11. Yep. And
you should go live. You should go live.
I don't know if I can because I won't have Wi-Fi there.
Oh yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's probably gonna be a problem. But yeah, after that, a big shout out to my wife, man. She worked, after she got off work Friday, she worked for a couple more hours at the shop. Then yesterday, Saturday, she went in, and Sunday, and she's gonna be doing a little bit today as well, man. So yeah, no days off for her. She's just amazing. She's a powerhouse, and she's sleeping right now because she needs that rest, man. She's just been rocking and rolling. So big shout out to her. But yeah, man, we're going to do that. And we're going to come back to the house, knock out a couple projects. She's got to type up a few things for the business and everything. So that's going to be kind of our day. Probably both get good workouts in, after this. But yeah, that's kind of what our day is consistent of.
So what is your workout? What do? You just lift weights? You walk? What do you do for your workout?
Well, I got a row machine. So that's kind of what I start with. So I'll hit that up for, about 10 minutes, just get blood pumping. And then I'll probably go to weights today. I did light weights yesterday. So I usually like to, combine. I'll go light one day, heavy one day, light, and then heavy. And, I just do different body parts.
So what body part are you working today?
Like I work the chest twice a week. I work the back twice a week, and do legs, once a week. So that's pretty much it. And I'm just starting to get the shoulders back into it, man. I had some difficulties with one of the shoulders, slept wrong on it. Nothing major, but been avoiding that. So that'll be something I gradually get worked in.
Yeah. So did you get to watch any of the XFL?
Yeah, I did watch a little bit of it. And yeah, man, I'll tell you what I do. I like the kickoffs. I like the way the kickoffs are done. You know what I mean?
Explain it to me.
Okay, basically basically your back guys are it's almost lined up just like the kickoff is, except they put the guys about the 20-yard line and about the 30-yard line, down where the ball is kicked. You know what I mean? So if they kick it in the end zone, all your up guys are about that 20-yard line, and the defensive guys are at the 30-yard line. So they're not getting that huge, momentum of running. You know what I mean? And so, but basically, you just don't have guys flying down there to kill each other. Instead, you got guys, getting a 10-yard, 10, 20-yard run instead of going 50, 60 yards and just leveling the guys. So I like that, man. It takes it takes some of the punishment out. Those a lot of those guys, the wedge busters, man, back in the days, man, a lot of them suffered the CTE. Because they were just.
Man, I just thinking about it right now.
Suicide squads, man. I mean, and that's the thing. Who knows how many concussions we've had, Coach? They all we knew it was like, you got your bell rung,
Yeah.
or you saw dots. They just take you out for a couple plays. You didn't have to sit there and they didn't have to ask you any questions. You had to know any answers back then. It was just like, are you okay? Yep. Okay. We'll get back in there.
Yeah. What day is it? How many fingers do I have up?
Yeah. I mean, I remember my sophomore year, we were playing James River, and there was a punt or something, and I blindsided the dude, and my helmet came down and busted my nose. And
I remember that.
I think it broke my nose, and I played the rest of the game. I can't remember a play of the game. I just remember hitting that guy, and that was pretty much it. It was kind of like blackout stage after that. But I do remember, like, Coach yelling at me, I need to be in the game, and I'm sitting on the bench just kind of bleeding all over myself, like, what's going on, And, I was James River. I think I was a sophomore, so I wasn't a starter. So, yeah, they pulled out Mike Sharkey and Marco Triplett. And so, yeah, me and Trevor Ward were in there.
Hey, tell me about Miami Sweet Heat, the Carlson twins.
Oh, man, you guys watch WOW Wrestling. Comes on channel CW. I believe 1 o'clock.
Is that like Glow? Is WOW like the Glow?
Man, it kind of reminds me of that because I was such a big Glow fan growing up. I really was, man.
Gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Yeah, man. I remember, Mount Fuji. There's so many.
You got to respect a woman that's got the name Mount Fuji. I mean, she's very secure with her, body.
Man, without a doubt, man. She was
Mount
such a
Fuji.
Yeah, she was such a rock star. And they did kind of a biop, I believe, on Netflix that's similar. But it's nowhere similar to what it really was, when you'd watch it back in the day. I was such a wrestling fan, man, if any kind of wrestling was on. But yeah, man, with WOW, I mean, they're doing huge things, man. Jeannie Buss is one of the owners, and they have CM Punk's wife. She's also a business partner with them. And so you've got some amazing minds there. And yeah, man, they're the tag team champions. They're just awesome, and they've got an awesome crew, man. They're the Fabulous Four, and to me, man, they're kind of a mix between like the Four Horsemen and the Fabulous Freebirds, man. They're the best of it all, And our girl Vicky Lynn McCoy, man, she had an amazing promo where some dudes were in her bar and they started getting rough with each other, and man, she chucked both of the guys out of the club, man. Out the club, boom, man. It was awesome, and it's funny because, man, she's a beauty, but boy, if you cross her, she's a beast. You know what I mean?
Dude,
so,
you got retweeted by them.
Yeah, dude, they did, man. They did. I couldn't believe it.
Here, hold on. Let's show that. Hold on.
Let's show that. Yeah. This is good stuff right here.
And this is big time.
Yeah, we had a good time yesterday. It was just such a gorgeous day here, man. Gorgeous.
Have we got any sound?
That's right. That's right.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live here, St. Petersburg, Florida, Sunday Fun Day. I got the legendary Cuban madman, the Cuban assassin, Fidel Sierra.
That's right. That's right. Coach Ball, Fidel Sierra, the legendary Cuban heavyweight champion. I am here. We're having Sunday Fun Day, and we're watching Vicky McCoy.
Oh, yeah, man. She's a bad woman. There she is, right there. About to get out. Oh. Tell them what you know about Vicky.
Hey, Vicky's a great athlete. along with the twins, who are together. What a stable they got there, and I am so proud of them all. And I know that they're gonna tear it up on a while because they're already doing it. Women tag champions, everything.
Fab Four, baby. The Fab Four. She's
I
the
tell you, big
enforcer.
dog,
This is the man.
when you take your shirt off, all right, you're gonna be getting some retweets. All right, I'm pretty sure. All right, you're gonna be getting some retweets. So I don't see why they would not want to come on the show, because I mean, any publicity is good publicity. And this is not tied to any other wrestling association. I think that we definitely could get them on, dude.
Yeah, they're big time, man. I mean, I don't think.
Yeah,
it's,
but
I
you're
don't
big
think in their
time.
I don't think in their contract they can legally do it, man. You know that.
Have they ever been on any other podcast?
Jeannie Bus, man. I mean, we're talking to LA Lakers, buddy. We're talking Showtime. You know,
Look,
we're talking
she puts
Showtime.
her pants on the same way you do.
Yeah, that's
and
true, man.
I don't bow down to anyone, even though we're the low man on the totem pole. All right, Totem Pole Nation. There's a boat right behind you. That might be Tom Brady.
No, he's got a way bigger boat than that.
That was a little bitty one.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, man. And it was good to see the Cuban assassin.
Oh, man. There. What an amazing athlete. He 40 years, over 40 years in the business. And I mean, he's been in every legendary feud with every legend you can name. You know, you name it, he's wrestled them. Yeah, absolutely.
Man,
without a shadow of a doubt, man. So it's always good hanging out with him, man. It's always good vibes, man. His wife, she is just freaking so amazing. My dog me and her can be sitting there and we'll call the dogs and she will run right to her every single time, man. She loves her some Miss Fantasy. Yeah, without a doubt.
So his wife was also a wrestler.
His wife was one of the first ladies of wrestling. Yeah.
Was she in Glow?
No, sir. No, sir. She actually, I believe, was the first lady in Puerto Rico ever allowed to be a manager there. Like, they just wouldn't allow it. But yeah, man.
Okay, man, this is a good segue. Andy Kaufman, Man on the Moon. I kept hearing that song, Man on the Moon. I went to Food Line. All right. Man on the Moon's playing.
No way.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Like Andy Kaufman. I knew a little bit. I watched a little bit of his stuff, but Andy Kaufman, what a guy he was. He definitely was a Heyoka empath. That dude was a backwards walker. He didn't like it when people were comfortable. He liked to make people uncomfortable. And Jim Carrey, they have a Netflix documentary. I need to watch it. It's called Jim and Andy, I think. Basically, I don't want to say that he was possessed by the spirit of Andy Kaufman, but he was him. He actually was Andy Kaufman and Tony, the other bad dude, his alter ego. But he actually never came out of character, Kyle, for the entire 3 months that they filmed the movie. I mean, that's what the documentary is about. Is that he actually? It's like Jim Moore. It's like a Val Kilmer when he played Jim Morrison. He forgot who he really was, dude.
Yeah. What about Heath Ledger playing the Joker? Right.
Yeah, they become these guys.
Yeah.
And he really was in character the entire time. He loved to mess with people. I mean, he loved to mess with people so much that they thought that he was faking his own death. I mean, man, and do you know anything about the wrestling feud and how that all happened?
Oh, yeah, with Jerry Lawler. Yeah, of course,
yeah.
Man. Yeah. I know that he kind of went in there and, Jerry kind of, put him on. Jerry gave him all the good ideas, but he had some great ideas as well. And, it caught the king by surprise because he was like, wow, man, this guy, he's got some good ideas as well,
Yeah.
And first they had him, kind of beating women, what I mean? And then he had one.
Why? Do you know why? Him and his buddy were watching pro wrestling. I mean, this is like black and white pro wrestling. This is like, Gorgeous George, stuff that my dad would have watched. And he loved it. And he was like, these guys are the ultimate performers, the ultimate. And he said, I want to be like them. And the dude told him, well, you're too small. Look at how big these guys are. And he was like, well, I'll wrestle women because he's bigger than them and they're smaller. And I mean, the dude was so ahead of his time, man. I mean, he was saying that he was for women's equality. So he supported transgender wrestling. And Andy Kaufman was going to wrestle these women. And people thought he was serious, dude. They thought he was serious, and it was a whole act. I mean, then Jerry Lawler, like, pretty much got into a feud with him, like, backing the women up and saying that one of the women was his wife or his girlfriend, because I don't think he's married. But, dude, this Andy Kaufman guy, man, you got to watch that movie, man.
Man, shout out to Jerry Lawler, King. We love you, man. Stay strong. Keep going. We love you, buddy.
Got over 1 million followers on Twitter.
He's the man. He's the man. Hi, baby.
I mean, I remember him as a wrestler. But Harley Race, wasn't he the king? Or did Harley Race give that to him?
There's been a lot of he was kind of the king of Memphis, like Elvis was. You know what I mean? Ooh. And he had his own, unique things that he would do, man. Like he used to wear the straps, and man, when he would take them straps and they would put them aside, man, he was about to get after it. And he also, one of his famous moves was the pile driver. And if you look into history, man, he had a situation where it was Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, rest in peace, but Eddie Gilbert ran him over in a promo. And if you watch that, it looks about, as real deal as you can get. And they ended up having a lot of people, calling the police because that's how just unbelievably it looked. Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's what Andy Kaufman did. That's what he wanted.
People were after Eddie Gilbert in Memphis, like after him, like we're gonna put a bounty out on him. Yeah, man, it was some amazing stuff he's done. But yeah, I believe the WWF kind of they did a King in the Ring type deal where it would be set up like a pyramid type tournament, and I believe Harley Race was one of the first winners of it. There's been guys like Stone Cold, it was the King of the Ring that he kind of did his John 3:16 because that's the bottom line. That's where that famous, that's where he pretty much blew up from, King of the Ring. And, you had King Haku, man. That was probably one of my favorites. The Macho Man Randy Savage, man, he was one of the he had won it before as well. So yeah, man, it's just a prestigious title in a tournament they used to have, and I wish they still had it, but I think they kind of got rid of it, kind of got away from it.
Well, we need to bring it back. All right, so how many billion is it going to cost us to buy WWE?
It's almost double digits now. Whoa. I want to say 14 or 9 or something crazy.
Yeah,
I just think the video footage alone, because you're getting all of everything that's ever been affiliated with them. They bought everything from every territory.
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it. I mean, I think it'd be a great investment because
let's start a GoFundMe.
We only got to get 8 billion.
That's it, man. Yeah.
Hey, hold on 1 second, Kyle. Tell me about the Road Warriors weren't in WWE in the 80s, right? I mean, what year did they go to the WWE?
It was probably around, I would say, 88, 89, maybe. Yeah. Whenever Raw started, I believe they were on the first Raw. I think. The Legion of Doom. Yeah, man. They were in NWA for a long time. They started AWA, I believe.
Yeah, or the Minnesota, whatever the Minnesota.
Yeah, or maybe it was Georgia they started. And the funny story is when they first started, man, they just had belts on them. They just had these belts on them. They just didn't beat anybody for them. They had these belts, and they just looked the truth, And that was the thing, man. All those guys from that Minnesota territory, man, a lot of those guys, grew up working at this place called Grandma B's. It was kind of like a gentleman club type bar, But it was a rough one, man. Like those guys worked. Rick Rude was there. I believe Axe from Demolition, or the Repo Man, or or Smash.
Was Axe the Repo Man?
Actually, it was let me see here. Smash. Yeah, Smash. Smash had a lot of aliases, man. He was Crusher Khrushchev back in the day. He was Repo Man. He was definitely Smash. But yeah,
what
man,
are the names of the guys that always lose? The guys who were on not the. I mean, they don't even have them. I don't think anymore. But the guys who like wrestled on the Saturday morning one, or like.
Yeah, I guess those are your talent enhancement guys.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Talent enhancement?
Yeah.
I always wondered, like, why were those guys okay with losing all the time? I mean, it's kind of like, what are they gonna do? Quit?
I'll tell you a good clip that you can pull up.
I can't pull, dude. If it's WWE,
okay.
I mean, anything WWE, dude, is gonna get a copyright.
Well, on your own time, type in, never no sell Dan Spivey. It was
I remember Dan Spivey.
Dan Spivey and
I mean, we can pull up
Sid Vicious. Yes, Dan's the Skyscrapers. They were in a match with these two guys, and the guy just kept coming back. Like they put him in big moves, and the guy was just kept coming back. And I mean, they literally beat the guy an inch away from his life. Then this is in front of 15,000 fans. Then I heard when they finally got him in the back.
Dan Spivey, Sid Vicious. Who was the two members of?
They were one of the core. There was two Skyscrapers. One was Sid Vicious and Dan Spivey. The other was Mark Callos and Dan Spivey. Mark Callos evolved into a guy by the name of The Undertaker.
Okay, yeah. So Mark Callos was before or after Dan Spivey?
No, it was always Dan Spivey. Dan Spivey was the link between both of those. It was never Sid Vicious and Mark Callos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dan Spivey was always.
He was always a member of it.
They had Theodore R. Long, Teddy Long.
Yeah, Teddy Long was a goat, dude. He was a goat. I mean,
he still is, man.
How do these? I mean, he originally was a referee, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you think of. Oh, look at that! The power bomb. Wow, I wonder how that was invented, dude. That's one of the greatest finishing moves of all time.
Don't you jump in that water? Don't you jump in the water?
Look at these guys, dude. Look at these guys.
Yeah,
Sid
man.
Vicious is probably one of my favorites of all time. Is he still alive?
Who's that?
Sid.
Yeah. Sid Edie.
Dude, I think you need to start reaching out to these guys, man. But like you said, a lot of them don't have money. I mean, coming in revenue because WWE don't take care of them and they want to get paid. But I mean, it's kind of similar to an old coach. They're out. They're not working. They're not getting paid. But if they're not out getting their brand out and getting their message out and being relevant, they are never going to get paid.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like I saw that the Undertaker was on Mike Tyson's podcast. I think that would be excellent to watch, man.
Oh, I bet, man. Those two guys.
I loved Mike Tyson's podcast when they had the football player, as the mediator. The dude who kind of kept it going, like our Hutch, level-headed. So Coach Bald, he's faded to black. You faded to black there for a second.
Welcome back.
You were like Johnny Cash. You were the man in black.
Speaking of Johnny Cash, can I tell you this?
Yeah.
Somehow I guess I need to what is it called when you share it on Facebook? Is it like a retweet or you just Facebook it out?
It's called share.
Well, I gotta share it. But my cousin, man, he's in a video with some awesome beard glow cream or something. By gosh, he looks just like Johnny Cash, dude. He's He's such a rock star, man. I'm so
Johnny
lucky,
Cash
dude.
had a beard?
No. The whole commercial just reminds me of Johnny Cash, man. You got to see this commercial. I'll share it to you, and you share it to Totem Pole Nation.
Okay, so Johnny Cash was the man in black. And I don't know if you know this, but black is a very popular color nowadays. I mean, dude, I might have a whole class wearing black. I mean, they wear black hoodies, black pants. I mean, black is a very popular color. I don't wear black. I wear school colors. But if Johnny Cash were alive today, would he still be the man in black?
Yeah,
everybody else is wearing black.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. He'd probably go to something that nobody else is wearing. He'd be the man in brown.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what. Can I tell you?
I'm glad you said that. Tell me.
Dude, when I was little, I had this pair of pants. It was my favorite pair of pants. You know what the name of them were?
What?
My brown pants. I think I wore those things almost every single day. And the reason I loved them is I could play in the dirt, mud, and everything. And guess what? They were still brown.
I don't know if you remember my grandparents, my mom's parents.
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
My grandpa, Tony Porosnik, wore brown every day of his life. It's the only color he would wear.
Wow.
And I think it was because where he worked in a chemical factory in Hopewell.
The pride of Hopewell.
I think it was because their colors were brown and gold. Hercules. He wore no other color but brown. I mean, dude, it's kind of crazy. Like, he never talked, very rarely, but like he wore brown every day and he was okay with that. It's kind of like me wearing blue. I wear blue every day. I'm the man in blue.
Yeah.
But my grandpa wore a hat. He always wore a hat because he was bald. You know, he had the classic, you know, no hair on top, on the sides, and wore a hat. Which Kyle, I really don't think it's that bad a look. If you always wear a hat. Is there anyone today? Who's the wrestler, Paul Heyman?
Yeah.
I mean, he always has a hat on, and you can always grow it out in the back. I mean, is anybody doing it today? Is anybody just wearing a hat instead of shaving their head bald?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I can think of one. The guy, the country music singer, he's always got a hat on. You know, the guy that's the guy, man.
So specific, man. You mean the one that sings country?
Yeah, I mean, I can think he's like the Jimmy Buffett. He's like the Jimmy Buffett. What's his name? Kenny Chesney?
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Chesney, I think I'm pretty sure.
I think he keeps it cut a little tighter like mine.
Yeah, he does. But he always used to have a hat on.
All right.
And then I tell you another guy is Tim McGraw. Tim McGraw always has a hat on.
That's true, man.
Remember the quarterbacks when they used to come off? Drew Brees until he got his hair implants. Drew Brees.
Throwback.
Always,
Hey, I'll go throwback, man. Steve Grogan.
Oh, long neck.
Dude, that guy used to play quarterback with a neck brace on, and his neck would still stick out like a good 3 inches, man.
And who's the other guy? Merton Hanks?
Merton Hanks, yeah, man. Talk about necks, dude. Those guys, they definitely forgot to do the shrugs.
So, no neck. Yeah. The first guys I think of with no neck is LeVar Arrington and Clinton Portis. Those dudes did a lot of cleans. I mean, they're
shrugs.
Like, Sid Vicious.
I'll tell you who's got a heck of a neck on him. Fidel Sierra.
Oh yeah, dude. If I had to fight him, I don't even know where I'd hit him because I mean he's just a solid piece of mass, dude. Like it's like Howie.
Howard
Bronson and him would make a great tag team.
I love hanging out with those guys because it's like now I got a body.
What is their size? What is their size comparison between Howie and the Cuban Assassin?
Fidel, I want to say about probably 6'3", about 260. And Howard's probably about 6'1", probably about the same.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Those guys, you're not going to hit them anywhere to hurt them, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they would be good in those competitions where they let the person slap them. I mean,
man, you ain't kidding. I know you can't throat punch them because you don't see their neck. You know what I mean?
No, man. I mean, it's having a big neck is very underrated, man.
Right.
So Tom Brady, after talking to Gene Chizik, it was pretty eye-opening. Him talking about working for ESPN and how ESPN wanted you to give your opinion. They did not tell them what to say.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It was cool. He was like, and he said he probably knew that he was going back into coaching. But Gene Chizik said that he always wanted to take the coach's side, which I respect that. He stood up for coaches instead of like these guys that want to fire coaches or talk bad about the coaches. He defended coaches. I got to watch. I'm talking too much, man. Shane said, man, dude, what did you do? Drink a bunch of coffee before you went on there last night with Bobby Bentley? But, dude, just talking to that guy, Kyle, I mean, it just got me going.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Like that's what keeps it going. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you're just spitting out something that's not, knowledgeable. It's something he's going to feed right off of and hammer it down. You know what I mean? It's to me, it's like an alley-oop, dog. To me, it's like an alley-oop. You know what I mean? Slam dunk.
Yeah, and like, what's his name? Keenan Michael Key? Is that his name? The guy, Key and Peele? The guy, have you ever watched this show? He talks about doing improv.
Right.
When you're doing improv, you basically just pass the rock to the dude with the hot hand.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't go into the situation, you go back. So you kind of keep going back. Like us. I mean, we could do improv right now. Like
for days.
I mean, dude, you know what I'm thinking about? Like being in your old house and that room that was the living room. What a great crib, dude. Man, that townhome is probably worth about $200,000 today.
Yeah, right there by the line.
Man, I don't know if it's my computer or it's Kyle's, but he froze up a little bit. So I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. I might read this book today. Building a Championship Football Program. All right, this is a great book, but this is a very underrated book. Probably the greatest book ever written about how to turn around a program. Probably one of the best turnaround jobs of all time. Bill Peterson going to Florida State University. A lot of people don't know Florida State University was an all-girls school. And, they made it where it was co-ed. And Bill Peterson went there and turned that whole program around. And then Bobby Bowden was an assistant there. Joe Gibbs was an assistant there. Bill Parcells was an assistant there. So Coach Bald is having some technical difficulties. If you got any questions, put a comment on YouTube or Facebook. But we have a huge day-to-day in Totem Pole Nation and on the Championship Football Coaches Clinic. We have Tony Franklin and Billy Mills. All right, I don't know how many people out there know Tony Franklin, but Tony Franklin was a position coach for Hal Mumme. And Hal Mumme was the head coach at Iowa Wesleyan, Valdosta, Kentucky, New Mexico, and him and Mike Leach, Tony Franklin, Dana Holgerson, those guys, they pretty much took the BYU offense. I'm gonna have to have this out when Coach Franklin comes on. I'm gonna try to impress him. they took this. See this guy, Norm Chow. I need to call Coach Chow. Coach Mountjoy gave me Coach Chow's number. They took this and they made it their own. And that's kind of like a reoccurring theme of history, is people are always stealing other people's stuff. You know, ever since we've been here on this planet, people's been stealing other people's stuff, even if it's like, you know, their physical stuff, but people's ideas. You know, people are always taking other people's ideas. And what do they say? If you take from one, it's what do they call it? When you cheat off of somebody else. Plagiarism. Yeah, if you take from one, it's plagiarism. If you take from many, it's called research. So they researched, and Tony Franklin and Mike Leach and Hal Mumme, they made that air raid offense. And Coach Tony Franklin was the offensive coordinator at Auburn. He was the offensive coordinator at Cal. And he's coming on tonight, and he sold his system of football to many coaches, and it's really changed a lot of football programs, because of his system of football, the Tony Franklin system. He's coming on. He's going down to Dinwiddie on March 18th, the same day as Coach Tatum's clinic, the Coach Tatum clinic. Coach Bald is back. Coach Bald is back. I guess I got to add you to the stream. I added you to the stream, big dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little technical difficulties here on the south side of St. Petersburg. I don't know what's going on. There's dogs barking like crazy. This dog's being a good one, but yeah, sorry about that, Coach. I don't know what happened.
Coach, it could be the aliens attacking.
I don't see any balloons, so I feel pretty good about that.
There could be a meteor, you know, like Don't Look Up, the movie on Netflix or whatever it was.
Right.
Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, it could be a huge meteor coming here. I mean, oh well, we're gonna be okay, man. Either way, so
that's it, man. We are.
We're gonna be okay. But I was just talking about Tony Franklin and Hal Mumme, Mike Leach. You know, basically taking this, because Mike Leach, you know, he was a student assistant under these guys. And I went through here and tried to find Andy Reid. But this book is still good today. Basically, these guys took this from Bill Walsh. And Coach Mills, one of the best coaches in Virginia, state champion this year, and Coach Franklin are coming on tonight.
Let me ask you this, Coach. When you're talking to Coach McNally, man, I want to hear some good stuff on Sam Weish. You know, he was a great coach for the Bengals for a lot of years. Took those guys from, you know, Ashy to Classy, man. He had those guys competing, and you know, that's definitely who I want to hear from, because I believe he was a disciple of Bill Walsh. I believe Sam Weish, is that?
Yeah. I think he was, because I think he was in that Bengals organization, and Bill Walsh got passed over for the head coaching job of the Bengals. I think Forrest Gregg was. I thought Sam Weish was the coach for both of the Bengals Super Bowls, but he wasn't. Forrest Gregg was the coach, and I believe he's the only NFL Hall of Famer as a player to lead his team to the Super Bowl, other than Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka is the only one that's a player Hall of Famer and won a Super Bowl. But Forrest Gregg, he lost a Super Bowl. But Coach McNally was the coach for Forrest Gregg and Sam Weish. And,
I believe too that the one he won with the Bears, Ditka won with the Bears. That was the only time they ever put a defensive coordinator up and lifted him up as well, right? They had both coaches up in the air, him and the legendary Buddy Ryan.
Well, you know, I'm going to have to get Coach McNally to talk about Buddy Ryan.
Yeah.
Because he played for him.
Wow.
At Buffalo.
Absolutely, man. You know, it's
it would have been a dream come true to get, a coach like Buddy Ryan to speak to us, but to get some guys that were under his wing is the best you can do. And, that interview we had with David Alexander, man, unless you meet that guy, you're not going to hear stories like that, guys. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing here on Totem Pole Nation, man. We are documenting history. It's just the boys being the boys, man. So we're having a good time with it, man. And Coach McNally, man, that's definitely going to be gold. I'm definitely setting the DVR on that one. Definitely going to be watching that episode over and over, man, without a doubt.
That makes me think of Andy Kaufman and his buddy. He had this buddy that was like, he was kind of like the brains behind the operation. And he was involved in a lot of the stuff. But they actually did a skit where, Tony, the bad version of Andy, and Andy Kaufman were on the stage at the same time. So, like, they come off the stage laughing, and then Danny DeVito in the movie, he's like the manager. He gets upset with them, and he's like, "You two are the only people in the world that think this is funny." And they were like, "Well, we're just having fun." Like, they didn't care, dude, if anybody else thought it was funny. They were just doing it because they loved it. They loved it, and he said people expect me to shock them. So, I have to go, like, to some extremes. Yeah, man.
We've got to set you up with some better background behind, man. You're it's just too plain, Coach. We need some of your awesome books, or some of your old collection, some of your Larry Birds, man. We need to
I don't know,
upgrade
man.
what's going on back there. Find a way, Coach. Find a way. You got so much cool stuff.
I'm just gonna keep it plain, man.
I feel like I'm talking to Vince Lombardi over here.
Yeah. I'm ready
for you to step up and start drawing X's and O's on that whiteboard behind you there, Coach.
I might as well put a whiteboard.
Show me how we do the ISO. Let's go.
Block the guy in front of you, man.
There you go, man. Big on big.
That was funny. I was talking to Coach McNally last night, and I was like, "Yeah, Coach." I was like, he got mixed up. I can't remember what it was. It was something about 1, 2, 3, 4 numbering or something, or math. And I was like, "Yeah, Coach." I was like, the simplest blocking rules of all time is 0, 1, 2, 3. Like, the center blocks 0, whoever he calls 0, and the guard, whoever he calls 1, he blocks, and whoever the tackle points at number 2, he blocks, and the tight end's got 3. And then I said, if you have like a wing back or an H, he blocks 4. I was like, so the saying is you got to count to 3 to block for me. And he goes, and I said, well, Coach, did y'all ever do that? He goes, no, we block the front. And he goes through and he goes, we would ID the front. Under, over, stack, bear, Okie. He goes through every front in football. Wow. And he was like, if we ran duo and we had a 3 technique, we would know that we're doubling. I was like, okay, Coach. Like, he's just like,
yeah, that is awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's what was also cool about talking to Coach Alexander, man. That Reggie White was over top of him.
I got to tell you about that.
And it was so cool, man, because they had a video that posted, and it was, him doing the hump move, the move where he kind of gets you going one way, and then he just throws that huge club and knocks you down. And I showed him that, and I tagged him. I said, how do you stop this? And he typed this message, how you stop it. He's like, with that guy, you try to make him beat you with speed, because that's not what he wants to do. And, just the methodical mindset of a Buddy Ryan, coach player, man. It's just phenomenal.
Coach McNally told me last night, he was like, on Thursday, I've got to do a Zoom call with Paul Alexander. And he's like, I got to do a Zoom call, and I got a message, and the message was from Paul Alexander, a Zoom link. And I clicked the Zoom link, and I texted Paul and asked him, did he send me the Zoom link? And Paul said he didn't. Did I just get hacked? And this was 10 o'clock last night. And I was like, Coach, I don't know, but I haven't gotten any messages from you. And I was like, don't be clicking on any links unless you know who it is. And even if you think you know who it is, still don't click it. Because, you could get hacked or whatever it is they're doing. I mean, I don't think it's anything other than it's sending messages out to other people on Twitter. Like, I don't really know what it's doing.
I think what he needs to do is he just needs to put that out there. To get to him, they got to go through you. You know what I mean? He's Brock Lesnar. You're Paul Heyman, my man.
I mean, yeah, I probably need to run his social media for him.
Yeah,
you know,
and he'd kill it.
It's just so much for him to, dude, he's getting messages from people.
Oh yeah.
All the time now. I mean, and they're asking him questions, and he goes, this guy just sent me a message, saying that I got hacked. Do I need to respond to him? Do I need to say thank you? And I was like, I don't know, coach. I was like, you're going to be getting a lot of those. And he was like, well, I think I need to respond back to this. Like, he wants to respond back to every message he's getting, dude. Like, it's great, man.
That is up close and personal right there, man. It doesn't get any better than that, man. You get the GOAT straight up.
Dude, I told Jackson, I said, dude, when I was a sixth grader, like, I wasn't talking to the GOAT that's still alive, the guy that taught Alex Gibbs how to run the outside zone. Like, you have gotten to meet, and like, it was so fun, dude. Like, he's got a card with like his picture and like all the teams. It's like on a
little business card.
A flyer. It's a flyer.
Okay.
He's holding it in front of the camera, and he's like showing Jackson all the different places he coached. They're all major colleges, and then pro football. And he's just so proud, to show Jackson that. And man, it's motivating, man.
That is, man. That is awesome, without a doubt, man.
I mean, I can't remember when we got Sting and Luger's autograph. Was that at the wrestling match?
Yeah, it was, and I think Tony Morgan was with y'all.
But
when was the time Tony Morgan was with y'all? Because I know y'all had a situation.
That was right when the NWO, and that's when we met Ric Flair.
Yeah, well, I know he had said something to somebody, right?
Yeah, it was Randy Macho Man Savage, and he's like, he wanted to shake his hand, and like, and Macho Man, he like looked at him, he goes, so what? You got a problem with me? That's all I got. Like, he couldn't shake his hand, dude. I guess his hand was broke. And then he wanted to shake Bobby the Brain Heenan's hand. He goes, what? Shake your hand? He's like, I don't know where your hand's been. Yeah, man.
Oh,
dude.
man. That is great.
It was great. It was great. It's something awesome. I can still see Ric Flair with the light blue Ralph Lauren polo on at the bar. I can still see it today, dude.
Coach, I heard he's got a hoodie that he makes his own hoodies now that are kind of like his robes, man. That's might be something you guys might need to look into.
For our players or for Totem Pole?
Yes. Yes.
Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Yeah, because let's see here. Ric Flair.
Yeah, man. Oh, so I got some great news, by the way. Can I share this news?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So Wednesday, we're going to have a stacked deck here this week. I'm going to have Cultivate Wellness on live. We're going to be live inside the shop with them. They're going to take us around. We're going to ask questions. We're going to have a great time. Yeah. Yep. My amazing cousin's going to be leading the way there. And also that evening, that's going to be probably live around noon. But that evening, we're going to have another phenomenal interview at 7:30. We got Kevin Hardy, the number 2 draft pick in the 1996 draft. He was the Dick Butkus Award winner that season. And listen to the guys he beat. Ray Lewis from the University of Miami and the Baltimore Ravens, and a guy by the name of Zach Thomas from Texas Tech, who went on to have a Hall of Fame career there at the university, actually at the Miami Dolphins. So can't wait to talk to him about that. Just from what I know from Kevin, man, he won the Butkus, and he also had Simeon Rice on that same football team. Unbelievable there. That the Illinois Illini, man, they were a tough team back then. And also I know he went to high school with a couple guys that played NBA, played basketball as well. And when he did get drafted by the Jaguars, man, they were a team that They had a difficult first season, but the guys basically hit playoffs the next 3-4 years, man. He was a huge part of it. And he got some tutelage from Clyde Simmons. Clyde Simmons finished his career there with Jacksonville, another Buddy Ryan disciple. And, I can't wait for that, man. It's going to be so exciting. We got the big man, Kenny Tomlinson. He's going to be my tag team partner in the interview. And I'm so excited about that. We'll talk to him about what's going on with his prospects and all. He's got a big deal coming up here at the University of Northwestern's Pro Day. We're still trying to get him worked out there, and I believe that's going to be happening. I believe he is going to get the full workout. Why wouldn't you? The guy's 6'5", he's 315 pounds, probably runs a 5'1", 40, maybe even 4'9", man. The guy's got some wheels for that size, so it's super, super good stuff. And then the next day on Thursday, 1 o'clock sharp. Actually, it's going to be 2 o'clock sharp, 1 o'clock his time. We got A.D. Palmore, the Cyborg. We're going to talk all things Cyborg. There's going to be some big news coming out of his camp, maybe even some breaking news here at Totem Pole Sports. So I am definitely looking forward to that. And if you guys are watching this right now or you're watching it later, find him on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Find him wherever you can. Instagram. He's the man.
We forgot, man. Our high school coach, Matt Bland.
Right. Breaking news.
Yeah, his son, James Bland.
Big game, James.
Sophomore at Cosby High School, 6A, biggest classification in Virginia, won the heavyweight wrestling state championship.
Wow.
As a sophomore, beat the guy that beat him in the regional title, and as a sophomore, won the state championship. Man, we were winning. We were winning that night. When one of us win, we all win. And this is a family. And, my AD at LC Bird, Greg Aiken, who's not from Richmond, he's from Severn Park, Maryland. He was watching that junk on NFHS network. It's a subscription-based streaming platform for the National Federation of High Schools. And our AD was watching that. And that's how much support and love that we have for each other. And he texted me. And I told Greg, I said, Greg, thank you for texting me. I was like, that means so much to me. But Greg was cheering for him. And he told me first. So I want to say thank you to Greg. And then I texted Coach Bland and James. And I texted Coach Bland's wife and James's mom and just told them how proud I was and happy. I truly was happy, man, that Coach Bland's son. Dude, think about that, man. 30 years ago, somebody would have told us that Coach Bland's son would win a wrestling state championship as a sophomore, and we would have basically like a TV show that ain't on TV. It's on the computer. Man, I'd be like, what are you talking about? Dude, I didn't even know how to use a computer. I didn't even have a computer. We never had a computer until after I was out of college. They were too expensive. They were $1,000, dude. You could not buy a computer for less than $1,000. And that's the Tandy. That's the Radio Shack. Yeah, we're old school. We're not even talking about IBM. What was that one? The one with the cow logo. That was the one that really started making affordable computers. I could buy this laptop was like $250. Like, wow, dude.
Yeah, man. Big
more technology than what put the guys on the moon in 1969. Do you believe that we actually walked on the moon? If you believed that we put a man on the moon, do you think that we actually put a man on the moon?
Absolutely. But I want to give a big shout out, man, to James, man. What a great kid. To win a state title any year would be just remarkable. But to do it your sophomore year, it's unbelievable.
In that sport.
Yeah. Yeah. And I believe he's kind of at that tweener weight where he could wrestle he could drop a few LBs and wrestle 220. but he did it at the heavyweight level, and like you said, I guess he beat a guy that had beat him earlier in the season. So what you're seeing there is a guy that transitioned and got better as the season goes along. And as a coach, there's nothing that makes you more happy or more excited than when that happens. And it just goes to show you the mental aspect of it too. You know, sometimes when you lose to a guy, you know, some people just fold up and, you know, we'll wait till next year. But no, man, I text Coach Bland to tell James, you know, that his Florida fan base are very proud of him.
Yeah. I mean, like, and Coach Stefanko, the Cosby coach, congratulations to him. I mean, Coach Hutch even went over there a couple times and wrestled James just so he could get, you know, some experience. Coach Hutch is not a small man.
Right.
All right. He's 6'3", 300 some pounds. And that guy's strong. And he's, you know, MMA guy.
Yeah, he's trained.
Yeah.
Skilled.
So, you know, it took a lot of hard work. I mean, Coach Bland would go and get us like a web-based wrestling website that's got film, and he'd be studying the film of the people that James is gonna wrestle, you know, to get ready. You know, he would go and look to see who he was gonna wrestle. And dude, there's a couple kids down at the beach, like this Lansdowne kid, like, dude, if you're a college football coach, dude, I don't think you can go wrong by finding guys that are wrestlers.
Without a doubt.
If you're a football player and a wrestler and you're a heavyweight and you're an athlete, like James is going to be getting some offers. And if he doesn't, the people that don't offer him are a bunch of idiots.
Without a doubt, I'm telling you, straight up, Coach, if you got a kid and he's a 3-star on the football field and he wrestles, they're going to give him another star. That's just how it goes. That's just how the business works, man. If you got a 4-star guy and he wrestles, he's going to jump to 5 stars. That's just how it goes, man. I mean, you're training in a one-on-one sport, and it's awesome because, you know, you have your teammates, and that's the only way you can get better. You got to have your teammates with you to support you. But in that situation, once you get into the match, yeah, it's mano a mano, and it's always going to be somebody about your size. So it's awesome, you know. And I've played with guys, I've coached guys up that, you know, did that, and the very next year, after doing a year of football, then doing wrestling after that, they were much better football players. You know what I mean? They're just much better tacklers. And you learn how to use your body. You learn how to use your body, even at the heavyweight level. You know what I mean? You know how to do different throws and stuff like that. You know, it's an impressive thing. But yeah, as an offensive line guy too, what we would have, you know, we would have guys communicating better. And, you know, instead of us doing a double team right at the point of attack, you know, say, look, man, I really got this guy. Just maybe throw a little hand on the shoulder, you know, or a hand on the hip, and then get to the next level. You know what I mean? It is. And those guys, the wrestlers, they just will not quit. You know, in football, you're going, usually as a lineman, you're going about 8 seconds full throttle. And then you got pretty much 30 seconds, 45 seconds till the next play goes. Wrestling, you're going 2 minutes full throttle. You know what I mean? So it's completely different, you know. And, you know, just like you working out, there's workout strength, but then there's picking up people, moving people, you know, moving a man's strength. You know, it's completely different. But yeah, man, that's such good stuff, man. James got a bright future, for sure. And I'm definitely going to be following the whole way, man.
Anything else you want to go over today for the Life Lessons podcast?
No, man, I think, you know, we just kind of hit it on the head, you know, just kind of giving a good recap and everything. You know, I hope it was a great weekend for me. I got to spend a lot of time with my granddaughter and everything. And we just talked and went and got her a nice bathing suit yesterday. She helped me out with a couple projects around the house. So it was it's just a great weekend, man. Anytime you can have some time with you know, a granddaughter, daughter, son, and stuff like that, you know, on the weekend, you know, you just take advantage of it. You know what I mean? And we did. We had such a blast. We took the dogs for a walk. There was one time she climbed up a tree, and her dog, who's afraid of its shadow, climbed up the tree about 10 feet up in the air. It was pretty scary, but man, the trick she teaches this dog, I didn't know you could teach dogs tricks like that, but the dog did. She climbed up a tree like 10 feet in the air. And
man, we need a video of that, dude. You should live stream that. That could go viral.
I do have a video that I posted. I'll post it on this when we hang up on my Twitter feed and I guess Facebook now, right?
Yeah. So how do you like Facebook?
It's like, man, it's like probably riding a bike for the first time. I really don't know what the heck I'm doing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm posting weird stuff or something like that, send me a message.
Between Twitter.
I guess I'm at I'm Richard Kyle on there. So I'm at Coach Bald on Twitter. But my main man Jimmy Hines sent me some link to where whatever I do on that, I can do the same thing on the gram. So I'm on Instagram as well. So yeah, I got my hands full. I don't know what I'm doing.
You're like basically. Coach
McNally. I'm Coach McNally on Twitter, man. What a guy. I'm so looking forward to that. And we just got a great week here, man. We just got a great week. And if I can I give a shout out to our sponsors?
Yeah, man. We gotta give them the love. They're the ones that help us.
Oh, Did I lose you, Coach?
Nah, I'm here.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, I can't see me, but yeah, Cultivate Wellness there in Richmond, VA. Check them out. Health is wealth these days. Get whatever products that you need. You tell them what your ailments are, and they'll get you squared away. They'll fix you. Yeah, I can't see anything, so.
We can see you fine, man.
Okay, cool. And check them out. We're gonna have a live podcast Wednesday. Okay, so be ready for that. Dial me in, ask me questions. I'll ask them. We're gonna take you around and give you a tour, and just super excited about it. We're just doing huge things there. My cousin works on the Pike, so I can't wait to get the in-store scoop and everything. And I know Coach Hutch has a lot of good relationship with them as well. So just super excited about that. So that'll be Wednesday. We'll be with Cultivate Wellness. So thank you guys for sponsoring us. We love you. Everybody go there, go to the website, cultivatewellness.com. And I want to give a shout out to our other sponsor, St. Pete Rejuvenate. If you're anywhere in the area or you need good service, come check us out. You can get your Botox done there if you like. You can get your facials done there if you like. If you need IV hydration, you're going on a long trip, or you're coming back from a party. Whatever you need, we can get you ready for the party, or we can take care of you after the party. And for people that are suffering from, minor chronic pain or bipolarism, come check us out. We do ketamine infusions as well. You'll have some of the best service you've ever had in your life. And, health is wealth. We got to get you on the path.
Heidi left a message. She wants to know what time Wednesday.
We're going to go live at 12, right at noon. So make sure you guys take your lunch breaks with us here at Totem Pole Nation.
Yeah, buddy. All right. So we'll see y'all at 3 with
Coach. Can you go ahead and close this out? Because I can't even. I don't have nothing on my end. All right, guys. Thank you.
We're the low man on the totem pole, but the low man always wins. All right, and we are for the common man, by the common man. We are the common man. We're the low man on the totem pole.
Amen. Wow. Amen. To the next episode.